I was born in Widnes, and my father worked at the ICI, and my mother, I'm not sure where she worked when I was only little, but we lived in a flat above the chemist shop. Nobody had too much money, but at least my father had a job. My mum actually was very good with the sewing machine and knitting, and when I was born, I was well dressed. Well, it was a happy time. I enjoyed school, and I was always reasonable. You know, I was never like bottom of the class or anything like that. I would say that I enjoyed every minute of it. And then I went to Girls' College for 12 months. But that was a private college, you had to pay. That was a bit stricter than ordinary day school, because you'd have playtimes and things like that, which you didn't get when you went to a college. But it was very nice, and the man that was in charge of us, he because my sister followed me, and I also stayed on at night schools, which, you know, lengthened my days. Mr. Owen, Mr. Wormsley Owen. There'll be a big difference now. It was a private firm. They made windows, and there was a lot of women that worked there in the factory part, and they were joineresses, which no other firm had. They didn't have women, and they were taught there. But he was a nice man, and so nothing was in great demand. You know, you get some bosses and the bosses. But he was a nice man, and I enjoyed my work there. And as secretary, private to him, I didn't have to go into a typist pool and just anybody pick you up, you know. I met your granddad. I had a walk up to Victoria Park in Widnes, and we met a crowd of young boys that used to. They didn't go to our school or anything, but they were a little bit older than us. And Eddie was in amongst them. And somehow or other, I don't know how it happened, he ended up walking me home. So it was a long way. And we made a date for the next night. We would go to the cinema. And she said, "Oh, you'll never hang on to him, he's too good looking." She said, "I'll come with you, he's not with her." He was just being polite. So she came with me, and when 7 o'clock struck, he was underneath St. Paul's Church. There was a big clock there, and he was stood there waiting for me. So she had to go home. She was never very friendly with him after that, because every night I used to see him. We got married early March, 3rd of March, and I had Stephen on the 5th of December. So it was more or less a honeymoon baby. Eddie didn't want any more children. Oh, he said I couldn't go through that again, because he watched me and I was a long while in labour. But I mithered him. I wanted another one. So that's how we come to have Mark. And he's 4 years younger than Stephen. But they've both been brilliant at school. Mark wasn't as academic because he didn't like school, but he was good with the animals, cleaning the animals out. He's excelled himself. He owns a dry cleaning centre with his wife Wendy. So they've had a long marriage, but they didn't want children. But then suddenly, 12 years into the marriage, he broke some news to me that Wendy was having a baby. When I said I was delighted, he said, right, well, you can have her then. She was the delight of my husband's, my granddad's life. I used to go to night school. I'd already passed my exams, but I kept going. And I stopped going on a Wednesday. I went Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So I didn't go on a Wednesday. And I went to the local Catholic church and had a word with the priest and told him the situation. And I said I wouldn't dream of asking him to change for me, because I went to Sunday school, but I didn't go to church religiously like he did. So he said, there's nothing lost if you say at the end of the day, I don't want to. I'm more into I read my Bible and I try. I'm not very good at it, but I try not to do anything wrong. But I swear sometimes. Do you see that? But I don't get mad about anything, and I don't lose my temper. And I think the religion has got a lot to do with it. My husband was more religious than I was because I didn't know the faith inside and out. But once I did, I enjoy it. By this time I had 2 children and they needed bedrooms of their own. And I'd heard they were building new bungalows with garages in Penketh, which was just outside, between Widnes and Warrington. And so we opted to sell, and I got a good price for it. And so we bought a new bungalow. I think it's very quiet and it's very everything. It's a beautiful place. And we're right on the end next to the Wildfowl Trust and Leisure Lakes, and there's various things. There's a nice pub at the top with good food, nice club if you want to drink, but we don't go so much now, or we didn't go so much when Eddie got worse, so it was good for the village, but we didn't go very often. I've had a very good life, a very good life. I had a husband that I never, and there's not many people can say this, that they had a wonderful, wonderful 60 years and 7 years courting. So that's like 67 years, isn't it? My mum and my dad never bothered about the fact that I'd turned my religion, because the priest came home with me. The last lesson that I had, the priest said, you told me when you first started that you hadn't told your mum and your dad. I said, that's right. He said, well, it's a big thing for somebody, for parents, to understand. So he said, I'll come back with you. And he did. And my mum and dad said, well, it's Dorothy's life, and if that's the way she wants to go, that's fine with us. And they enjoyed Eddie's company, so he was just one of the family long before I got married. So I would say yes, I've had a very good life. It's just a bit lonely now.